down to. We do it because we used to. And forget those that don't do it. So drink some city, drink some city, drink. Welcome.
I know what you was going to say.
Welcome to the first episode of SemCity podcast. This is a big day.
This is a big day, and we always like to celebrate life events with a shot. So why not celebrate with a shot?
Yeah, absolutely. This is something we always do. Me and myself, which I like to introduce myself right now. I'm the mayor of this city, Chris Simeon.
And I am the managing director, Miracle.
The managing director. Is that part of city council?
All of this. That's what I'm just trying to say.
Well, welcome to the first episode of SemCity podcast. We're your hosts, Chris and Miracle Simeon. Yes, we are married happily. We are 3 years in the game. And I think, we have a lot of good advice to give people. A lot of people reach out to us, and we really wanted to do this podcast because a lot of people reach out to us and they always want to know our opinions on things. They really admire our relationship. So I think this will be a good way for us to show everybody who we are, how we engage each other, how our relationship works. And we want to relate that to everything. And we just want to really talk about what's on our mind.
Yeah,
that's what
about
we like doing.
What goes on in our lives.
Yeah, and I think we relate to people. A lot of people think that we've got this little perfect thing going on, but but I think we work at it. And I think there's things that, we can just relate to other people on what we do. Not saying that you need to do that, but it works for us. So maybe it could work for you. And we just really want to talk about whatever we want to talk about on this show, whatever interests us. That's one of the main things about our relationship is that we just tell each other what's on our mind and we entertain each other. So it could be any topic that's going on in the world or, in our lives and someone close to our lives. We find a way to relate it to anything and, bring some light to each other and just communicate well.
I'm looking forward to this podcast. Just be an inspiration. I always like to help others, and I know that I really like to put myself in other people's situation and feel sympathy, empathy, and kind of help them figure out where to go in their journey in this called life. So I'm super excited about this podcast just to let the world in on our lives, and what we do, and help people along the way, inspire.
Yeah, we want to make y'all laugh. We want to make y'all think, not cry too much. We ain't all with the
I'm
crying.
A crier. I do cry.
I cry a little bit too. No, but we're pretty upbeat people, so we're gonna keep this show lively for everybody, and we just want everybody to have a good time, and we want y'all to feel like y'all are sitting around the couch with us.
Because that's what we are doing.
Yeah, we're sitting on the couch next to the fish tank. This is gonna be a real laid back show.
Yeah. So let's tell the people how we met.
How we met. Well, that was a good day.
It really was?
It was, actually. Yeah, for me it was.
It wasn't a good day for me.
It wasn't?
It wasn't. Like,
well, it
the
couldn't
day
have been
in
the
home.
way I first saw you.
I'm just saying, the circumstances, I was not a happy person.
Yeah.
That day.
I don't think I ever was enlightened on the circumstances of your attitude that day. I just knew you had one. I knew you had a headache.
Yeah.
but I didn't know there was an underlying reason for this said headache.
Okay, so good people, me and Chris actually met at a Kappa boat party.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I knew of Chris, but because of course he was a Kappa, and I guess your nickname was the cute Kappa. But I mean, yeah. So I didn't really just like know you. And then the boat party came. So I was over membership of Fall '09. Yeah, Fall '09.
Follow 9, and this is for what sorority? You didn't.
The best.
People don't know this.
So
You just said follow. No, follow 9. They don't know what party you.
Sorority Incorporated. So I am the membership. I'm the dean of 9 wonderful girls, but at that time they are now in the chapter, and I'm almost assuming like a mother role. So this is probably maybe the second or third event that the girls have come to. So I'm like a chaperone in a sense. So I'm like, okay, don't embarrass, always the miracle speech. Don't embarrass me. Make sure you control what you're drinking, blah, blah, blah. So I was playing like a motherly, watching out for them. If y'all need anything, I'm right here, mother hen type thing. So it's exhausting. It's 9 of them. I think Amber was maybe there and Shanika was there, but the rest of my line sister wasn't there. So it's all of them, my neos. That means they came under me. So I was just like irritated because it was hot. I'm tired. I'm in like this mother hen like role. So then the boat party is what, 5 hours on the.
Yeah, it was about 4 hours or so. It was about 4.
It's a 4 hours, so I'm just tired, and then by then I'm irritated because I don't know if somebody was about to fight or they were like miracle, they looking at me, so I'm just like, okay, I'm over it. So I went downstairs at the bottom level, and then that's when I was sitting with I was sitting on the cooler, and it was Stephanie and T. Lee. So they're all talking.
Well, I came downstairs with T. Lee.
No, you were actually upstairs dancing with Nayla.
Right, but when I came downstairs with T. Lee.
So I remember you coming downstairs.
Right,
the conversation
but you were with Stephanie
already,
and somebody else.
Because the conversation was already happening, and I remember I wasn't really involved in the conversation. I was just kind of like, laughing and joking with him. And then you came down and you started talking, whatever, we're having a debate about something. But you were talking directly to me. And I remember like, why are you talking to me? This is a group conversation. I'm not arguing, whatever the conversation was about. But I felt like you were directly talking to me, and I was irritated.
Well, see, based on my strategy, you were easy prey.
Because I wasn't involved?
Exactly. That was my whole strategy. When I saw you sitting over there by yourself, not involved, I'm like, perfect. Now she's isolated. She's not involved in the conversation. I don't have to make things awkward. I can just go over there and talk to her. Even if I get on her nerves, I have her full attention. Because she's not paying to the rest of it. She's got a headache or whatever. She's thinking in her own thoughts. I'm about to go interrupt her own thoughts. Now she's focused on me because now I'm agitating her or interested in her, whatever. But I have your full attention now because you're not involved. Now I got you off to the side. T. Lee and Stephanie were talking.
Away from the group, I just was like not fully engaged in the conversation. Like I was just on the side, like okay, whatever.
Right, and so was I because T. Lee came down there. He engaged the conversation with you and Stephanie.
Yeah,
but then they started having a side conversation.
They did,
and then that's when I saw my angle to strike, and so I went in, and that's when I just started messing with you. And see, at that point, I had like a different confidence because I had just came back from Fort Worth with Antonio and Deanne and all them, and y'all gonna meet Antonio. He's gonna be one of our first guests. Antonio was really the inspiration for why I wanted to do this podcast. Now, Antonio gave me some grown man game.
Okay.
It's different from like high school, trying to holler at a girl, get her phone number stuff. This is not when you trying to holler at girls to get them on your roster. So Antonio was giving me this game at the time to where I just had full confidence. So when I saw you sitting over there looking aggravated and mean and like I wasn't scared that you were going to like reject me or anything like that. I was going in and I had full confidence that I was going to cut straight through that and you was going to be all on me. When you left, you was going to... I'm being serious.
Okay.
So did serious.
You know me before you saw me at the boat party?
I knew of you. Okay. I knew of you. Of course, I didn't know you.
Yeah.
Like, that was our first time ever speaking to each other. But I knew of you. And, you know, I was probably one of the less known people in my line. I probably was the less known person on my line. You know, Spring 07. Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Yes.
Ace Club. But, you know, I wasn't really out there like that. I had came with people to UT. So I was roommates with someone I went to high school with and my cousin. So...
And so you're talking to me.
Everybody else stayed on campus. I stayed off campus. So all my line brothers were known kind of in the black community there. And, you know, I started gaining more and more notoriety once I crossed, and we were good.
Okay, so you are now talking to me. I'm still irritated because you're like directly talking to me. And I just remember you like kind of like I don't know if it was challenging me. And then I just know that I kind of snapped.
Yeah, I wasn't going to let you off the hook.
Yeah. I just remember like saying like that's BS because blah 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 blah. Like whatever you were saying, I can tell that you were trying to ring game. So then you like hooked me in because I'm like, okay, so now I'm gonna challenge what you're saying and be combative. And like I went on my little long tangent, and then that was it. And then there was something else you said. You said at the end of the conversation, because now we're in a group and now we're talking. I wish I would remember what we were like debating. College life. You just debate everything. And then you just was like, you going to be my baby mama one day.
Absolutely.
It's like, why would I ever want to inspire to be somebody's baby mama? Like, I think the whole neck rolling and like...
Because I wanted to have a pretty kid.
I was like, is that your line? Is that what you say? Do you think that works? Does that ever work?
Now, if I were to entice you with a child that was so beautiful that he was able to go onto the Disney Channel and make millions of dollars without you having to lift a finger, and you only had to raise him, quotates, in quotes.
Yeah, I think this is
for
exactly what he
years.
said in the conversation. I was just like, what? And then what was your thinking? You were like, I'm just going to try to... What was your... You were just talking?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really just talking. I was trying to holler at you. But, you know, sometimes if you actually have some type of game, you have to understand that if you walking up to a girl that's not already interested in you, you got to put in some work.
Okay.
And then if you're not confident, they going to just eat you alive, embarrass you in front of everybody. I ain't wanting to get embarrassed. So, not of my own doing. Or not of my own doing, actually. I might run into a pole and smack my face in front of everybody. But you not about to embarrass me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you have to put in some work.
Mm-hmm.
And if you serious and you show them you serious, you start breaking that barrier down.
Yeah. I don't know at what point that because I was really irritated the whole time. But I think, let me tell you what happened. The boat party is over. We're getting off. We've had our exchange, and then that's it. And so we're walking to the car, and I remember telling, I don't know if it was Nayla or Stephanie, I was like, I think I was offended at the fact that you didn't ask me for my number on the boat. Because, like, I'm very confident, and I know that I'm that chick. So I'm like, what you mean you didn't ask me for it? Even though I was irritated, I was like, but he didn't ask me for my number. Like, what?
Once again,
you yelled from like 3 cars away. You yelled something. You was
y'all
like
was across the parking lot.
I think you were like, bye baby mama, or something like that's exactly what you did. And I was like, oh, okay, like I got it. But he just trying to be cool, right?
That's gonna make you giggle.
The whole time I was irritated. That's just like a female. Once they show you that they don't want you, you're like, oh my God. So that's what I did. Because you did not ask me for my number while we were on the boat party, I was just like, hold on. He ain't even get my number. And then you were like, I call you baby mama or something. You just
I said I was going to hit you up on Facebook.
Yeah, I said, I'm hit you up on Facebook, baby mama. And I was like, all right, baby daddy.
So now you got to wait on me. So,
I didn't wait that long.
So now you was annoyed and agitated. Yeah. You left. I left you.
You did.
And you was still talking and thinking about me after I left. Then I made you wait for me to contact you.
It was literally the next day.
Well, I wasn't going to wait forever.
Like we got
then
back.
You was really going to be off.
The boat party was over at like midnight, and I think you messaged me.
You also had to take advantage of windows.
Yeah,
I can't wait more than that.
I'm going back to Houston too, so that's another thing.
Yeah, I mean, I found that out later when we started really having the conversations on Facebook.
Well, no, I'm saying you Facebooked me the next day, and that weekend I was going back home because I remember you came over and everything was in Big Blue. R.I.P. Big Blue. That's
right, but I didn't know that prior to leaving the party, or else I would have probably asked for your phone number.
Yeah, so you hit me up on Facebook and you said you have a beautiful smile. That's what you said.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Yep, and then like crazy up until like how we met is cool. Our journey to how we are now married, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, we got plenty of episodes for that.
Plenty of episodes. That's a whole like journey.
We're going to have a lot of guests on this show where we're going to be talking about some UT stories. And that's going to really entertain a lot of y'all out there.
But yes, that is I do like the story of how we met. And it's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, it was pretty innocent. You know, it was a Romeo and Juliet kind of had to holler at you from the bushes in the balcony.
It was true because I think you met me in a state that I am not usually in, and you still wanted to pursue me. That's how I look at it, because I'm usually, life of the party, outgoing, but at the time I was in the back chilling, had a headache, and I was irritated.
And see, I didn't know that. See, I didn't know you so I was just going for it.
Yeah.
I was going off the vibes you gave me, but I think that's why we're together now. Mm-hmm. Our vibes were still able to play off of each other.
I'm happy I met you that day.
Yeah, but now we're here.
Yeah.
And this is where we at. So it's a lot of stuff going on, though. A lot of stuff.
So I read on the Shade Room. That's where I get my source of gossip, or it could be Hollywood. I don't know. But this situation with Katy Perry, have you heard about it? Do I need to?
What's not going on with Katy Perry?
I know she always got something going on, but it's so funny because this is a whole different other story. My VP Kathy, she gave me a pair of Katy Perry shoes. Those shoes she gave me, those are Katy Perry's. They're super comfortable. I'm trying to shout out.
Look nice.
Yeah. So Katy Perry has been accused of sexual harassment for 2 different occasions. So long story short, I guess all I know is a short story, but she was at a party in her section and she was hitting on like a reporter, another female, and the female's basically saying like, I had to fight her off, like thank goodness I have strength training because I fought her off. And then she basically went to her next victim and was like kissing on another girl. Yeah. And then somebody else,
her next victim.
Yes.
Has this alleged victim come out and said something?
Yeah, the other
call her a victim. I've only heard of 2 incidents. One with a dude and one with a female.
Well, a lot of people have been saying like this
Katie.
Is common. Like this is a person that's saying, I kissed a girl and I liked it.
Okay.
So the person who made the first,
and little kids sing that song all the time.
The first person that made this report did indicate that she was intoxicated. But my question is, can females sexually harass someone? Another female?
Females can sexually harass another male, another female. See, the thing about it is, this is a taboo. Like, it's always a stigma in the public about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Like
a double standard.
Yeah, it's a double standard. Say like, even with, I don't want to get too far off topic, but even with like domestic violence, you don't see a lot of guys talking about she was abusing me, because then there's some stigma like, dude, you got beat up by a girl. I think it's happening. You can't even complain.
Yeah.
You can't even. You liked it. You enjoyed it, right? It's always a view that if a girl's coming on to a dude, whether it's wanted or unwanted, the guy has no room to complain, because dudes like when girls, come on to them. They want to come on to the girl, So even like that instance when the original guy, who filed something on her from American Idol was complaining, people were like, dude, that's Katy Perry. No. Like, and you're some nerd, So, I mean, I believe they can, women can, sexually assault people, but
can I use the excuse?
It's not viewed that way by the public.
Does that make a difference that I was intoxicated?
Okay, does it make a difference if a dude was intoxicated? Now they're rapists, They're not even just sexually assaulting, they're raping you. They were drunk and they were aggressive, and then now the dude seems like some monster, some overpowering. You don't think about a woman overpowering somebody, but when a female is drunk, they can get strong too.
But this is a female. I think this is very tricky because recently we were in a time where 2 girls kissing, that's like a fantasy for a guy. But now you were like, oh, she was assaulting me,
Yeah, and so with this whole double standard thing is, who addresses that to Katy Perry? Why hasn't Katy Perry gotten in any trouble? Why isn't there any outrage about Katy Perry? Don't get me wrong, I like Katy Perry as an artist. Yeah. I think she's pretty, all of that, the whole nine. She's a superstar. But where's the double standard? It's kind of like with Cardi B. Cardi B's on video talking about drugging dudes and robbing them.
Yeah.
Now, she may have not had sex with them, but you still just admitted to drugging and robbing dudes. Whatever their intention was, you could have called the police, and nothing, Nothing. But if some dude was to drug and anything to a
Jail
female,
time.
they be hey. Right? Sitting right next to Uncle Bill. You know? So, I mean,
And R. Kelly.
that's the thing I don't like. And I think, the social media and the public and the media, everybody sensationalizes things so much that, they just pick and choose what they want to be mad about every day. Mm-hmm. So now,
I don't think anything is going to happen to Katy Perry because she is. Yeah, she is.
What are they gonna do? What are they gonna say? Don't do that, Katie. Leave people alone. Stop feeling on her booty. Don't do that, Katie. Katie. See, the thing is, as long as you making people money, they'll tolerate you. Mm-hmm. As soon as you are no longer a benefit to people in power, you're expendable. Bill Cosby ain't been doing nothing lately. Dude's like 90 years old. So people now are like...
Off with his head.
Yeah, off with his head. I don't need Bill. Bill not making us no money. Like, Bill only got his own money. Mm-hmm. Katy Perry making everybody money. Everybody involved with her getting paid.
So do you think age has something to do with it?
No, not necessarily. I think they just found their opportunity to strike on Bill. Mm-hmm. Just like with R. Kelly.
Well, I'm just saying with
R. Kelly
Katie
is now broke. Mm-hmm. And the reason he is broke, because he ain't got no more money to pay off everybody. Mm-hmm. He's been paying everybody off this whole time. And now they not getting paid no more because he's broke. So now, you know what? Hey, I got this tape that I had stashed. I
have a question for you. Do you think the world is just sensitive?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're in that world now of participation trophies. Kids don't go outside and play anymore. It's just like the world's gone soft. And everybody's offended about everything. Like, you can't, like... We love comedy. Mm-hmm. And yet, comedy sucks right now because the comics are scared to tell jokes.
Yeah.
Think about some of the most famous comics that are out there. Just in the existence in the world, period. George Carlin, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox. Mm-hmm. These were some of the rawest, dirtiest comics that were out there. They said some of the most offensive stuff there was. And yet it was all hilarious. People had a sense of humor. Like, people are so soft now, they can't even laugh at themselves.
Yeah.
And that's why Dave Chappelle was so famous. Mm-hmm. Because he was able to take issues like race and make fun of not only just black people, but everybody.
Yeah.
He didn't target anybody. Everybody got some. White people, Asian people, Hispanic people, black people, everybody. That way, it shows you we can all just laugh at ourselves. Mm-hmm. You don't got to laugh at each other. You can laugh at each other. It's fine. But you can also laugh at yourself. And that's where, like, now... with everything, people are just so sensitive. Now, I understand some things that were done back in the day were just completely wrong. Like sexual harassment. Like in the workplace.
To those old comments, just back in the day. The things they said, I still laugh because I have a sense of humor. But it's like, you wouldn't be able to repeat any of your jokes in this climate. Like, you can't say anything now.
No, absolutely not.
Like, I'm sure even what we're saying on this podcast will be kind of controversial.
We're going to tell a lot.
We're probably going to offend somebody.
We're going to be real. We're going to be honest. And we're not trying to offend anyone.
No, disclaimer.
Yeah, we're not trying to offend anyone. But the thing is that we want to be honest about everything we say on here, and we want to be genuine. And it's sad sometimes because now people are using this as leverage to their advantage. Mm-hmm. Now you can just accuse somebody of something, and they're automatically guilty.
Yep.
And
Now
even
that's
if they're
sad.
proven innocent, it's too late. They're guilty in the court of public opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They've already been fired from their job. They've already been whatever. Their name's been tarnished. They're associated with this.
They had to shut down their Facebook,
Whatever,
close
you
down
know.
their Instagram because
You gotta shut down your whole life. Shut your bank down. You
That's
know,
crazy.
because now it's just too easy. You see it in the NFL. Now them dudes got problems because they putting their hands on females at a record pace.
I know.
But females see that, and now they can
capitalize on it.
Yeah, they can capitalize on that. And so you got guys like the guy Reuben Foster from the 49ers. He was this big time draft pick from Alabama. Second year in the league, he's about to get kicked off the team because his girlfriend's talking about all of this. He's beating on her and all of this. And then it comes out that she was lying. And she specifically said she was lying to get at his job, to get back at him. And I mean, like, now you come in at somebody's livelihood. Like, it's bad now. It's like it's a catch-22 because even if you're innocent, somebody can just blame you for something and you got to go with it just to save yourself, really.
Yeah.
You got to, if they want money, you got to pay them just to make it go away. And it ain't even true. But then if you get it blasted out there, now you done all the way. And it's just a sad thing. Now, there are some real victims out there. And that's what's unfortunate because it takes away from them.
Yeah. You just gotta lump everybody in together. So, I guess because the NFL or society really didn't do anything in the past, now there's so much awareness to this attention. So, you can literally make a false claim and they're so quick to react. There's no discovery. There's no due diligence. There's no investigating. You said it and it's true because we got to take everything serious because it's call to action. So it's a fine line. It's a fine world we live in. To my younger people, be careful what you put out on Facebook because it always comes back. I'm sorry, they don't even use Facebook now. They use Instagram and Twitter. So, yeah. Just a word of advice.
That cloud is real.
Just be careful because everything comes back.
Everything.
Speaking of football, NFL, it's that time again, and I want y'all to know something about my husband. He is a die-hard, I almost want to say fantasy football. Like, it's so serious. How long have you been with your fantasy football team, playing with them?
This will be our 6th season.
6th season. And if I was a jealous wife or anything, like, I don't think we would have made it this far. Because you are on your phone 24/7 when it's football season. And it's time to draft. And it's like you become a different person. And then once football season is over, I feel like I get you back.
Oh, yeah.
And then, but it starts back up again. It's a love-hate relationship with me because I love football. But you are on a whole nother level. What is your process? Like, what? I know you're like grinning from ear to ear right now. I'm going to pass the mic to you. So what is your fantasy football advice, picking what? Just go.
Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge. I don't want you to think that I don't acknowledge your feelings. I completely agree with you. This is what I like to call neglect miracle completely time.
Yes. Oh my God.
Because, and I'm sorry, it's true.
I appreciate that.
But I take football so seriously. And this is why I never played. I have never played. I'm 32 now. I started playing fantasy when I was 26, 27. This is why I never played before, because I love the game of football so much. I know I would be way too invested in something like fantasy football. Because for one, I want to show everybody I know more about football than you. And the best way is to put an incredible team together and win. And the first time I ever played fantasy football, I won the championship. So then that was it.
Validated.
That was a wrap. Now, like Miracle said, I want to give some fantasy football tips because I'm a self-proclaimed fantasy football legend. And, you know, like I said, this is our 6th season. We played 5 years so far. Of those 5 years, I'm going to give y'all my qualifications real quick. Of those 5 years, I have made the playoffs every year. Like I said, my very first year, I won the championship. 12-4 in the regular season. So excuse me. Did I win? Or did I only lose 2 games that year? Whatever, I won. After that, I have been to the championship 4 of the 5 years we have played in this league. Now, granted, I have lost every other time I played in the championship, but I made it there.
Yeah.
The only time I didn't make it, like usual in the playoffs, all my players died.
Yeah.
And I ended up losing in the first round. And then I lost in the second round too.
What
so I
year
got 4.
was this? Like your second year, third year?
No, this actually might have been, it was the 3rd year.
3rd year, okay.
I made it to the championship game my second year and lost. And then the guy who beat me in the championship, he won back-to-back years.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are my qualifications in Yahoo Fantasy Sports. I am diamond level. So I think my draft strategy works pretty good. And it's a little unorthodox, but it works. So I'm going to talk to everybody who's involved in PPR leagues because standard scoring leagues are stupid. PPR is how people watch football. You watch people catch the ball, gain yards, and score points. So why not play fantasy football that way? So I want to give points for catching the ball. With that being said, that's how you score points. From players catching the ball a lot of volume, a lot of scoring, and they get a lot of yards in turn from getting a lot of volume. So I think it's really important to have a top-notch running back. You have to have a top-tier running back on your team, regardless if your second running back is a scrub or not, or just a middleweight guy or whatever. Make sure at least one of your running backs is top tier. Top 2 running backs for me personally, PPR. I like Saquon. Don't get me wrong. I like Saquon Barkley. They're going to load the box on him this year. His rushing is going to be down. I think he's going to get some receiving because Eli's going to be a check down king this year. But as far as being dynamic in the passing game, you've got Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey actually would have led the league in fantasy points last year, but he took week 17 off. So he was still right up there. And he's gotten bigger. He's going to get the same amount of touches he was getting, but less plays. So he's going to be even more fresh out there and more explosive. So with that being said, me personally, I would be aiming towards, as far as my top 3 picks, as far as if I was one of the top 3 guys, it would be Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, and David Johnson. Now, they're going to have a bounce back year. They got a new offense. It's going to be an air raid system. David Johnson is already great catching it out of the backfield. He's going to have a bounce back year. Even though they had a horrible season, was the worst team in the league last year, David Johnson still finished number 8 running back in fantasy. So that's how productive he is. He still has the potential to be 1,000 rusher, 1,000-yard receiving guy. Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara are more shoe-ins on that. So I really like those guys because they're going to get a lot of catches out the backfield. That means more points for your running back. They're going to score touchdowns. They're going to make explosive plays. Those are going to be your three top guys. Now, as far as me, when I'm drafting, I don't draft based on that ranking system. People will draft and the whatever drafting program you're using or rank the players however they feel like it. And that's people just go down the line picking people.
Like when they're auto drafting?
Or whatever, just based on how they're ranked. That's how they make their decisions. Yeah. So now they don't know who they get next. They look at the list. The next dude on the list is so and so, and then it's so and so, and then it's so and so.
So you don't think that's the best?
They're thinking those are those three best options.
Yeah,
that's not how I think.
Okay,
I can pick somebody. I can pick a dude that's in the middle of the second round for my first round pick. Because that's the guy that I thought is going to work for my team.
Okay.
So that's how I pick. The only way I use that ranking system is to know where guys are going to fall in the draft. That's the only way that ranking system is important to me.
Okay.
It's because it tells me where guys are falling in the draft.
Okay.
And if I have an opportunity to pick them and where. So say like I'm targeting certain type of players. I want a dude who's possibly the number one receiver on this team. Gets a lot of catches because the other receivers are kind of trash. So the quarterback targets him a lot. And then I also want to, get running backs that get a lot of catches and are explosive runners. So a guy like me, yeah, you're going to go after Odell Beckham and Julio Jones. See, last year, I had the last pick of the first round, which was the only pick I didn't actually plan for. And so who fell at 10 was Melvin Gordon. So I grabbed him because he was probably the best running back available. Yeah. You got to have one really good running back, even if he's not the best.
Is there an order of like, okay, I want to get a running back first, a quarterback second, like
no, you know what? With me, my first 2 rounds, I want to get a really good running back and receiver.
Okay.
Then after that, I can get middle of the road guys. You got to have 2 guys that you can depend are gonna score every week to help you. So last year I was 10th. Yeah. So we're in the snake draft. So I got back to back. So perfect. I got Melvin Gordon, and then I got Devontae Adams. Right. Devontae Adams is a top 7 pick in the rankings this year, first round. That's how cold I am.
You be knowing.
Yeah. It was all these other receivers out there at the time. Nobody was even thinking about Devontae Adams. But think about him. Devontae Adams is now Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson. Jordy Nelson is gone. He was his go-to guy that he trusted. You got to know the personnel on the team to pick a guy from a different position. So, like, Aaron Rodgers likes to throw to guys he trusts. He's one of those. He's like Ben Roethlisberger. He won't throw it to you if he can't trust you. So, Devontae Adams will get 15 targets a game. And I knew that last year. That's why I got him. Now he's a top 7 pick overall. I picked him 11 last year. And I got Deshaun in the 3rd round. And the way I see it is, if I'm going to take a risk, it's going to have to be on a player that's a tier above everybody else. Like, there's a tier in between. So, say this year, I may even pick Travis Kelce in the first round, a tight end. Because, remember this? A few years ago when we first started, well, at least when I first started playing, remember Rob Gronkowski was head and shoulders above every other tight end in the league. He was just way better. So picking him, you getting guaranteed the best player at that position. And he's going to score way more points than anybody else at that position. That's going to hurt everybody else except you.
Yeah.
So I know 2 years like in a row you picked Gronkowski in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So why is that not the same case now for Travis Kelce?
Mm-hmm.
He's worthy of being picked in the first round because he's such head and shoulders above everybody else in his position. He's almost like getting an elite receiver.
Yeah.
He's almost like getting Hopkins or Devontae Adams or Julio Jones or whoever. And right now, Julio Jones is falling. He's dealing with injuries all the time. Another thing, as far as receivers, say if I can only get one really elite receiver, my middle of the road receivers are going to be guys that still get targeted a lot. And the way I can make sure of that is I pick guys that have a number one receiver that I know is going to get doubled all the time. Like last year, I picked up Tyler Boyd from the Bengals because AJ Green gets doubled and triple teamed all the time. Tyler Boyd had like 10 touchdowns last year because he had one-on-ones or nobody guarding him. And Andy Dalton just touchdown. Y'all triple team AJ? Touchdown, Tyler. And I'm eating. And that's how I like to pick receivers. Sometimes I pick number 2 receivers because they get number 1 volume because the number 1's getting doubled. But he has to be good enough. But this year I'm looking at guys like Julian Edelman, of course Devontae Adams, guys who they're the best receiver and the rest of the guys can't get a lot of trust from the quarterback. All right, so y'all think about that, and that's going to be my advice for your fantasy draft. Remember, draft guys that work for you, that you want, that work for the type of team you want, not necessarily where they're ranked. And typically you can get the guys you want drafted that way. But that's going to be it for fantasy football. I'll give y'all some more knowledge in the future. When I'm back in the championship.
Yes. I like, because Chris talks about fantasy football every day, all day. So I thought it was hilarious when you're entertaining the fact to draft all white players.
I could pull it off. Think about this.
Thought it was
y'all steal this from me because I'm probably not going to have the guts to do it anyway. But I could probably do it and win. Check it out. Yeah. If I could get Christian McCaffrey, boom, right, white running back, first round. Second round, Julian Edelman. Third round, if I'm lucky, Aaron Rodgers. If not, Baker Mayfield. I'm killing. I got Julian Edelman, who's going to have 11, 12 catches a game. I got Christian McCaffrey, who's going to have 3 touchdowns a game and 10 catches. He's going to have 30 points a game. I got Aaron Rodgers, enough said. Baker Mayfield going to light it up. Other than Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers, Baker Mayfield is going to be that dude. So now I'm looking good, right? I need 2 more receivers. Okay. Let's see. Cooper Kupp. Eaton. Touchdown machine. Third down machine. Let's see who else. Okay, I said Julian Edelman, Cooper Kupp. Adam Thielen. Oh my goodness. If I was able to get Thielen and Julian Edelman back to back, if in a snake draft, I could pull it off. I would go Thielen, Edelman, and then I would go Cooper Kupp. And then it ain't no more white running backs in the league. So y'all gonna have to work with me. All right? I'm gonna miss out on James Conner. But check this. Phillip Lindsay. Catching out the back, PPR, catching out the backfield, touchdowns, Joe Flacco, check down king. I would eat. I'm looking to target Phillip Lindsay anyway for my flex.
Okay.
Check me out. Y'all free Aaron Jones. But I'm telling you, I could pull it off. If y'all let me slide with Phillip Lindsay, he's half white. I can make it work. It ain't no other white running backs.
I
You
don't
gotta
know.
at least let me feel the
Lindsay.
roster. And then I can go Tucker or Greg the Leg at kicker. And then Minnesota defense. They got a lot of white dudes on their defense. They got a white safety.
I
And he's
don't
cold.
know.
So,
after y'all listen to this podcast, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down.
That sound like
if
a championship team.
Philip Lindsay counts.
Philip Lindsay gotta count. Come on. I can't feel a team. Name another white running back. Toby Gerhardt ain't in the league no more. Come on. Throw me a freaking bone, number 2.
If you were to win fantasy football with all white players, I think that would be awesome. Like
I could
you, yeah, you're that dude. Okay, so now we're gonna go. Do you want to explain? All right, because it was definitely your idea. So go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. We want our listeners to participate. This is your world too. This is SemCity. We build this together. So we want y'all to not call in or send us messages or whatever, letters, just asking us advice on certain things going on in y'all's lives, and what we haven't told y'all is me and Miracle are actors as well. And that was one of the things that we found out we had in common, is that we had an enjoyment for acting. We'll get all into that story another time, but we wanted to incorporate that into our podcast. So we've created a segment called Acting Out. So what we're gonna do is y'all give us a question about something that's going on that you want advice on. Yeah. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna act that scenario out for you, so that you see how it should be handled. Kind of like when Martin told Cole how he need to handle his mama when she busts all in his room when he trying to get his back on with Big Shirley. He said, boom, 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 woman, win. It ain't gonna be quite like that. We don't want to give y'all bad advice, but we want to, still be able to practice our craft and help you out too. So Miracle really has our first acting out request. Advice request. So
this is really the first time we're doing this, so we're gonna fill it out, because I was thinking maybe we need a backstory, whatever. So the question is, there's a situation where there's 2 co-workers, a female and a male, that work together, and the male co-worker is actually hitting on the female coworker. So that is the actual situation, or the question: how to handle a situation when one of your coworkers is advancing you and you do not want it. So I was thinking, like, the background story is, of course, they work together and they're not in the same department, and they probably been working together for a couple of years. So, anything about your character, backstory that we should know?
No, I'm gonna just get into it.
Okay.
I'm just the sleazeball coworker who's married, and I'm hitting on my coworker. Okay. And I mean, we want to, at least show people, you may have a feeling about, I don't want to make this, a situation, but I don't appreciate the advances. Yeah. And, we want to see if we can get into that. So here we go. Okay. Miss Simeon, I see you over there. Hey. I see you got the tight dress on today.
Okay. Hey, how are you this morning? It's Friday.
I'm doing good now that you got to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you looking all, you glowing. I see you glowing over there. Sunshine.
Glowing. Okay, thanks for the comment. I'm just going to go get this coffee.
Oh, man. You could be my Starbucks barista anytime.
Okay.
You like your coffee with cream? Because I'm light.
Okay, Chris. These comments, you can chill out. There's a little too much.
I mean, I'm allowed to have friends. You don't want to be my friend? We've been working together for a while. We passed by, we exchanged smiles. I thought you were
Yeah,
giving me some kind of vibes.
we're coworkers and we're both married, so I don't think this is appropriate.
But what about this picture on my phone? Does this picture on my phone entice you?
No. Why are you showing me this? That is not okay.
Well, I mean, I thought you liked it. There's some other people around here that liked it. I thought you may have too. You give
No.
me these
Okay.
looks.
Let me tell you something, Chris. I am married. I do not like it. And I don't like these advances you give me every day. So I'm telling you right now, you need to stop it.
Okay, I mean, I don't want any problems. Can I take you out to lunch to apologize?
No.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't want to leave on bad terms. Can I have a hug or anything like that?
We can have a handshake.
So do you think it's really gonna end like that? It's still gonna end with an HR complaint.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to HR the whole time. That's what and scene. So the point of this exercise is be direct. I hear this going on in workplace all the time. Of course, you guys know that I'm in HR, but not for long. That's a whole nother story. But
Whole
whole nother story. The person that is in the situation that doesn't want the advancement to happen, they're too busy trying to be nice. So that confuses the other person and they think that it is okay to keep on giving them advances or the comments or anything like that. So you have to be very direct. Like, I do not like this. You need to stop. It is inappropriate. And hopefully, like in the situation with Chris, he did not get that hint. And then you need to go to HR, but never actually directly talk to HR. Always send an email.
Why is that?
Because nothing happens when you actually have a conversation with HR. I don't care who it is. They're just going to be like, okay. But no follow through, no action, nothing happens if you just have a conversation. So yeah, you can have a conversation, but you always follow up with an email because that's documentation. That's proof that you went to someone and nothing happened.
So you can't make a formal complaint verbally?
You need proof. It don't happen. Like how people come in and say it wasn't on Facebook, it didn't happen. That's how it is. If you don't have no paper trail, he just showed you a
picture with the hot dog out the bun.
If you don't have no paper trail, you can't.
So as long as he ain't send it to you,
it's your word against my word.
And I knew that. That's why I showed it to you on my phone, and I ain't send it to you.
Yeah, you have to. Anything you do, follow up with the email.
I'm about to go to the school and see whose dick it was.
It's a hot dog.
We about to have a lineup. Everybody. I remember what the dick on the phone looked like. Tell him to pull his pants down.
No.
Nah, it can't work like that.
But
that's tough.
There's so many situations like that, and it's all your word against her word, or vice versa. So you have to make it clear that you told the other person you don't want this to happen. Please stop. And then you have to follow up by going to your manager, going to HR, and then once you have that conversation, you send the email. And you CC everybody you want to. Because that's the best way to have action every time.
Wait, you can send it out memo style?
Okay, so this one manager.
Chris just floating dick pics around.
When I say
to whom
CC,
it concerns.
You know higher up who you need to CC on this email. So, for instance, there was a manager who felt that he was being harassed by his manager. So, he had to go above, of course, his manager. He went to the owners. he went to the VP of HR, and he went to the president. So he CC'd all of those people. Do you think that next day I had to fly out to that, like, immediate action? Because he had all those people in there. Now, if he would have just emailed okay, HR, we still would have did that. But imagine he just went to his manager or something, it would have stayed in-house. So you get a quicker response if you include the right people and the right buzzwords. We just talked about sexual harassment with Katy Perry and the time. So if you use the word bullying or sexual harassment in the email, those are buzzwords. So that's my advice.
It's tough in that workplace, man. Y'all chill out. My advice to you is, it's plenty of fish in the sea. Let them ones that you work with go. Yeah. Catch and release. If you're going to holler at them,
I don't think you should talk to somebody.
Don't even do it. You don't want nothing to happen that's going to cost you your job. Mm-hmm. So, I understand a lot of people meet at work. I don't think that it's also a good idea for everybody, because when things go bad,
it goes bad.
It goes real bad, because now people come to work beefing, and now it affects you and your job. Whatever the case may be, they're going to hit you with that Janet Jackson had that butt naked transvestite dancer come out the cake at your job.
It creates a distraction, because there's so many times
they don't use that word no more.
It's so many times in HR that somebody met, they're dating. It's great when it's going on, but once it's over, the whole team has to pick. So that's what I have to bring literally the whole department in and have a discussion, because everybody picks a side. I'm team Jake and I'm team Sarah. So they went to lunch and I can't go to lunch because we not talking to them. Like, literally departments, sitting them down because everybody is going through a breakup in that department. Like, it's a huge distraction, and that's why us as HR people, we just frown upon it, because it always happens, and it's never just those two people. It's everybody who they sit by. Like, I saw him in a hallway and he walked past me. Like, it's just drama.
You start involving your co-workers in y'all business, and that's why I don't really like
that's natural. They work together 24/7, so they're talking about what that person did and their side, and it's a lot.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's too much.
So my advice,
leave it alone.
Leave it alone. She gonna go after your job, bro. She gonna go after your job. Ooh. Especially don't do it at work. If you see her by some chance outside of work, you may throw one at her. If she don't catch it, you leave it alone.
Yeah.
But don't do it at work. Don't embarrass somebody, because they will go to HR and you will be out of a job just for trying to holler at somebody.
Let me tell you how difficult HR is now because of the climate we're in. Like we said earlier, everybody's so sensitive. So people come to HR literally for everything. So you just find yourself babysitting adults. And it's a lot. He said something like this wrong, or in a meeting he said this, because everybody's so sensitive. So you have the older generation, our baby boomers, who are like, I can talk to you any kind of way. And then mixed with millennials, they're crying. So it's constantly a struggle between the two generations. Even like that story, I can't remember who it was, but he was cussing at the kids. Who was that?
Cussing at the kids.
Yeah, it was an NFL player. Was it Marshawn Lynch?
Oh yeah, Beast Mode. Beast Mode had a little league flag football team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the kids weren't doing the drills right, and he was coaching the kids like he knows how to coach.
Yeah.
He knows how to coach grown men. He knows grown man football. And he was raised in Oakland, and I'm sure his coaches talked to him a certain way to motivate him. So when you talk to little white kids like that, they mamas don't like that. And it's when you start using curse words, which the kids know, especially in football, it's such an aggressive sport. Like, when your coach is cussing, it's because he's trying to get it through your head. Because apparently you can't hear it through that helmet, you know? And it's just an aggressive game.
Yeah.
You coach it aggressively because you have to have an aggressive mindset when you're playing it. So when kids are lackadaisical out there, for one, that's how you can get hurt. Mm-hmm. But, you know, if you're lackadaisical, if you're not participating and someone corrects you, mm-hmm. even though it was an aggressive way to correct them, it was positive reinforcement. But the parents don't hear that nowadays. They just don't like it that you chastise their child or embarrass their child, even though you're actually trying to make them better. So that's what he had to explain to them. Yeah. And he explained it to them calmly. Even though he cussed, he explained to them, yeah, I cuss. I cuss a lot. But you have to extend, which they don't. Mm-hmm. That's how he was coached football. He's beast mode. He got more money than you anyway. It's for a reason. Because he didn't get no participation trophies. Mm-mm. He got aggressive, positive reinforcement and correction. Different and for time. One, it kept him from being dead or in jail. Mm-hmm. And that's why I love sports. Because not only does it keep you out of trouble most times, it teaches you a lot about life.
Isn't this like privileged kids? So was it privileged kids? I mean,
I don't know what the demographic of the kids that were participating in the program. Marshawn Lynch is from Oakland. Mm-hmm. I don't even know where this camp was at, but these kids, you know, probably didn't look like they were from Oakland. Because for one, he had to explain to them why he was talking to their kid like that. Yeah. Some black mamas from Oakland would already know. They would have been yelling at the kid too. Make him run, coach. Yeah, especially some single black mamas. What? Nah, coach, make him do up downs. We was in the living room practicing that yesterday. He already know he's supposed to keep his head up when he tackle. I told him he miss another tackle, I'ma make him run.
Shout out to all the single mamas out there.
Marshawn Lynch wouldn't have had to explain that to no mamas from Oakland. So it's all about understanding. So, you know, we getting way off topic. Yeah. You know, this ain't even got nothing to do with sexual harassment no more at the workplace. But we want to thank everybody for coming and joining us today. I think this was super fun. Awesome first episode. It's a celebration. And you know what that means. We celebrate everything with a shot.
We had a shot to begin and a shot to end.
We got to close it out.
I had a fun time with you, husband.
I had a wonderful time with you, wife. As always, I love doing everything with you.
Oh, that was sweet. We need an outro.
See how I got her again?
Oh, God. What's our outro? We got to think about it.
I don't know. We're going to have to edit that in later.
Good energy. From Dormtainment.
You can't steal somebody's stuff.
Good energy. Okay, thank you for listening, you guys. And I can't wait to hear your feedback. And we'll see you next episode. Have a great day.
Domo arigato.